Welcome back. In this tutorial we are going to cover creating the interior walls. And so our first step here in our Word document is to create a new wall style called interior 2" by 4" wall. I want to copy that. And we're going to go ahead back over to Revit and go to wall. We're going to find an interior wall and we're going to edit type just like before, duplicate and paste our name in there, and then we're going to go to edit and we're going to see that we've got a couple things we need to change. So our drywall thickness is a 1/2 inch and our structural element is a softwood lumber 3.5. I have listed here structure. These can be finish faces, which is fine. I'm not going to go through and double check that on your project. So our finish face is 1/2 inch, 1/2, and here is also 1/2, and then we've got a 3.5 inch, and then it's going to be softwood lumber, so we can just search that because we know it's there from our exterior wall. And if we zoom in, we see a preview of our wall. So we can go ahead and hit OK and OK. And so looking at our files, we need a interior wall PDF to get opened up here real quick. And so this is a little more detail on what your interior walls are going to look like. So what we notice about this wall, and we're going to start with this vertical wall here, is that it is in the middle of the house. And so let's go ahead and start with that one, and then we'll work from there. So for my wall justification, right here I have location line set to center line, and that's what I want. Sometimes you want that, and sometimes you want it on the finished face. This time we want it in the middle because we know that that wall runs through the middle of our house. Now I'm just going to drag this down longer than it needs to be and zoom in a little bit. Now the next thing that I need is a 10-foot wall across here. Now these two bedrooms are symmetric, so that's nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw that wall in, and then we're going to move it down 10 feet. So coming back to Revit, we're going to go wall, make sure it's our interior 2x4, and then what we're going to do is change our center line to finish face exterior, and then we're going to draw it from the drywall. Now notice that it's not going where I want it to go. To flip the direction that a wall is going, hit spacebar, and now it's going the proper direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw this wall all the way across. Then we're going to pick this wall, and notice we get our modify panel up here. We're going to click move, and we're going to pick a point off in space, move our mouse straight down and hit 10 and then enter. Again, base units in Revit are in feet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in a dimension, and it's going to go from this drywall interior face to this one, and that number should be 10 feet, which it is, so that's good. I highly recommend that as you go through this project, each time you make a set of walls, you put in your dimensions. And the reason for that is because it's easier to catch a mistake while you're doing it, and it's a lot easier to fix that mistake. So now we can see that we've got our dimensions here, and we need to add our closet. And so we can see here that we've got 1'8" interior depth for our closet. And so what we're going to do is take this wall and we're going to copy it down 1 foot, which is the apostrophe symbol, and then 8. You can add the inches if you like, although it knows that it's going to inches. And so that's there, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to dimension this, and it looks kind of small, and it is. And it's small because we did not account for our wall thickness. So if we do a real quick measurement, use the measure tool to go from this face to this space, we see that our wall is 4.5 inches. So this wall here needs to move down 4.5 inches, which is our quote mark. We've got to put that inches in, otherwise it's going to move at 4.5 feet. So now we're at 1'8" for our closet depth, which is good. And we know that we need a 8'6" closet length on both sides. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw a model line that's located right here. And it's just a line that you use kind of like helper geometry. And we're going to come over 8.5. And then we're going to draw a wall from that point down to this wall. And then what we're going to do is pick one of these walls, and we can see our modify tools. And so I'm going to kind of cover these modify tools as we use them, not all at once. But this is basically a trim or extend to corner. Think of it in AutoCAD terms as a chamfer. So I'm going to pick this wall and this wall. You're picking what you want to keep, not what you want to get rid of. And now we can see that we've got that wall, except this is on the wrong side. So if we hit the space bar, that will flip it over. Now again, very important that I put my dimension in right away to make sure that that is 8.5 feet, which it still is. So now that that's done, I can take this wall, hold down Control, and pick this wall. And I can get them over here using the mirror command. So I've got two options. I've got mirror pick axis, and I've got mirror draw axis. And since I've got a wall right here with a center line, I can select mirror pick axis. And then I'm going to pick my wall. See that blue hidden line? Now I've got my walls on either side. Pop a quick dimension on my left half. And that is 8'6", which is correct. So we're looking good so far. So the last two things we need are a bathroom here and a mechanical room at 5 and 8 foot respectively. So all I'm going to do is take this wall, copy it down 5 feet 4.5 inches, do a quick dimension, and I know you're thinking, well, that doesn't make sense because it is not supposed to be over here, which is fine. We're going to fix that in a second. I'm going to take that wall, I'm going to copy it again, and I'm going to go down 8 feet 4.5 inches, enter. Now I can see that this isn't long enough, which is fine. I'm going to select my trim extend, aka chamfer, picking what I want to keep, and I can see I get that nice little blue hidden line that shows me my result. Now I'm going to trim. I'm going to use this as my cutting edge, and I'm going to pick what I want to keep. Opposite of AutoCAD. In AutoCAD, we pick what we want to get rid of. I'm going to dimension my mechanical room, and now I can see that I've got all of my dimensions, and the problem is this wall is in the wrong spot. I just realized that. Okay, no big deal. Pick our trim extend. That should be these walls, otherwise you have no way of getting into your bedroom. And then we can trim using this as our cutting edge, keeping this. We can unjoin our elements because these two will not be connected anymore. And we can trim and keep that. Whoops, wrong tool. Let's do trim. This is our cutting edge. This is what we're going to keep. That's better. Okay, so don't make my mistake. Make sure you do it correctly. But now we've got a better idea of our modify tools and how some of those work. We'll cover the rest that we're going to need as we go through our tutorial. So I'm going to go back to my architecture tab, do a save real quick, and that's going to do it for this video. Next video is going to be doors, and I'll see you then.